Think about Google, Apple. What is the business that will stay unchanged in 100 years? I don't think it exists. When DALL-E 1 came out, inside me is like, what is going on? Like, how far can this go? I was just completely filled with some kind of fear that made me dismiss the new technology. I really didn't know what to do because I was really out of my depth. And I just tried to rationalize it. It was like, no. Everything that we are doing cannot be obsolete. It cannot be that huge. But when DALL-E 2 came out, that threw all of that through the window.
Joaquin Cuenca Abela, Freepik CEO and co-founder.
And it was like, we need to go all in.
All in.
All in, absolutely all in. AI was such a disruptor that we knew it was going to solve many different use cases. There was nobody on Freepik trying to make a logo with Freepik images. There was nobody trying to turn their photos into illustrations. There was nobody trying to improve their photos. We just launched AI on Freepik, and that's when we started learning from this new crowd of users. The idea of just sketching what you want and getting the image in real time, it was phenomenal. It caught on like fire. This was like the first time people started talking about Freepik AI. Okay, they're doing something.
How can AI be used to make movie making easier for humans, and then where
one of our games is we're very fast
to draw the lines? Enter this company called Freepik that has built real-time AI-powered editing tools for movie makers and content creators alike, and new ways to bring their projects to life, and that is already being used.
People know that every time there is a new tech that is interesting, that comes out, you're gonna probably have a product on Freepik that incorporates that technology, often in hours.
I have heard that you are fast. I have heard that you can have products done by the end of the day.
6 months ago, you could get on Freepik and you could generate a few clips. Now we are working to help you create the whole storyboard, to put like a film together. Okay?
Wow.
Ask the question, what is next? What is going to be the next problem when this problem is solved? It's not more films. We are going to see like a much bigger diversity of use cases that we still cannot think of. I think we need to start thinking about image creation and editing is a solved problem. You can very easily create any image that you have in your mind. How do you add value on top of that? And that's what we are thinking.
So how do you get your people to learn, to unlearn and relearn and learn how to learn?
Many people were really scared. There is a skill that they trained for years to gain that skill, and that became obsolete. They want to create. And once they start learning how to create, it became as if they had been using this forever.
This is Freepik.
When you create, there are always two outcomes. One outcome is the creation itself, and the second outcome is the mark that it leaves on you. Just by creating something, you learn something. So on Freepik, by helping people create, I think we are also helping them grow. Think about the AI like fire. Okay? It's like something powerful, something very useful, dangerous. It can be the case that being smart in the future, it's as useful as today is being strong. Oh, so you can do math in your head quickly. Maybe it's not that useful in the future. You start walking with a cane. Eventually, you're going to need that cane. You will not be able to walk again without that cane. There are some things that you do for the Freepik of today and some things that you do for the Freepik of the future. They're not the same. We're doing something that we think is going to be pretty cool for a couple of years or 1 year. Okay, and it's important that we do it. It's important that we get people to Freepik, to get people to create things on Freepik so they get this experience. It's useful today. We know it will not be the path of the future. Freepik of the future is how do we help you, even though creating and editing images is absolutely trivial. It's not only Freepik, it's like any company at some point needs to rethink what they do and need to take the leap.
What is one thing that you need to do at Freepik to future-proof it for AI?
Probably
Joaquin, what is it that Freepik does and who is it for?
well, we are helping creative people do their work.
Yeah.
And we established that our mission, what we wanted to do with Freepik, is to help creative people create great designs, create films, create whatever they wanted to do, and to do it more easily than before.
Who are your biggest competitors right now?
I would say our biggest competitor is Adobe.
Yeah.
And of course, there are some other smaller competitors, but Adobe will be the big one.
Yeah, that's the big boy.
Yeah,
Okay. It is a competitive landscape that you work in.
it is.
And you've kind of risen up quite like from nowhere. It feels like to me, I see your name a lot everywhere. Why do people choose to do business with you? And why do users choose your platform?
Okay, so today it's because we have the best AI tools in the market. So
Yeah.
today you come to Freepik and you have state-of-the-art tools to create whatever you want to create. But over the years, this has changed. Like when we started, there was no AI. Okay, when we started, Freepik was the best place to find initially free images.
Yeah.
And then we added icons and photos and templates and many other things. And we still have that. So it's still an asset that you can use to create anything that is in your mind. So people go to Freepik to when they want help creating something.
I wonder where it all started. Like that moment, that day where you thought, there's a problem here and I need to fix it. And I'm going to fix it and I'm going to bet everything on this idea. So what was that itch that you were scratching? What was the problem that you wanted to solve?
Okay, so credit where credit is due. That was Alejandro, my co-founder, who came out initially with the idea. Let me set up the scene first, okay? So we were on a different startup, which was successful also, but a different startup. And we were doing websites all the time, okay? We were quite fast coding, doing the HTML, doing what is like the layout of the website, and we were on a budget. Okay, and everything is free. Like if you know how to do it, you can code, you can do many things for free. The thing that was not free is the images that we needed to put on the website, and it was kind of slow to find the right image if you were on a budget. So that was initially that was the
pain.
The pain is how do we help people that are creating initially websites, but at the end, like any kind of design, and help them make it faster and more efficiently and all of that. Yeah. So we were, at the time, the process is you search on the internet and you search for free stuff. Yeah. We decided to put everything on a single platform, so you only had to search on one single place and it was readily available. Okay, so that's how we started. And that really help us fix our bottleneck. And this was really a project. It was not a weekend project. It took longer than that to do the V1. Okay. But it was really a project because we had our own problem to fix. We were doing other websites. And it became very successful. Like many people had that problem too. And they came to the platform. And then the good thing about Freepik is not so much like the original idea, but it's the fact that we iterated. Like we look at what people were doing, and we try to understand, okay, what's now like the next big pain, and we iterated on that. Okay, and we did that continuously over the years.
Yeah, you did. There was a turning point. I'm going to quote you, and I'm going to come to this, how you iterate so fast and how you're learning from your users and your audience. But I want to quote you. You said, I remember DALL-E 1. It was getting there, not quite, but it was getting there. But with DALL-E 2, I flipped. You said, I realized this technology would keep improving. To some extent, our company could become obsolete. So that was a turning point for you. So this moment with DALL-E 2, I mean, it can be both exhilarating and it could be terrifying as well.
Yes.
So there you are with that realization, okay? And it's like you're on this technological edge where you see your industry is about to shift. And that, it can be terrifying because you have mouths to feed. You know, you have employees to look after. You have thousands of users on your platform. You made bold decisions. How did you do that? How were you feeling at that time?
Well, first of all,
Research has shown that people are way less likely to buy from organizations. People buy from people who they know, like, and trust. If you are a leader in industry, if you are a founder or an entrepreneur, you will have a strong growth story. And the smartest investment that you can make with your time is to share that growth story. If you like the look of these podcasts and you would like to have the full studio and photography experience at our London-based studios, then reach out to me. You'll find the details in the description.
there was a process. Okay, so DALL-E 2 came out and we made the change, I think, very quickly after that.
Yeah.
But when DALL-E 1 came out, when I look at the images, the quality was awful.
Yeah.
Okay, it was really not good. But I was already like asking questions, and I was inside me. It's like, what is going on? Like, how far can this go? And this is one of my biggest regrets. Like, I look at DALL-E 1 and my reaction, and I just try to rationalize it. It was like, no. Everything that we are doing cannot be obsolete, to use that word. Like, it cannot be that huge, because I didn't understand. If this is coming, then what next? It was too early. Okay, so I was just completely filled with some kind of fear that made me dismiss the new technology. DALL-E 1 comes out, and many people did that. I did it in particular. Is like, no, this is not going to happen. Like, it's going to get good, but not that good. It's like, okay, what's the next thing that we can do to help people? So we are just going to keep doing what we are doing, but we are going to start creating an AI team in the company. We started investing in AI at that point on DALL-E 1.
Yeah.
So, and we choose some tasks that we knew could be done with AI and that we knew could improve the business, so that will give us some knowledge about AI. So, for example, we improve our search engine. Our search engine became much better. Okay. But when DALL-E 2 came out, that threw all of that through the window. Like, at that point, to me, it was like, I remember I have a few good friends in our board, but one of them in particular has been a very long time friend of mine. Yeah. He's an AI expert, and I call him, and it's like, his name is Andres. It's like, what do we do about this? And it was like, we need to go all in.
All in.
All in, absolutely all in. Like, if it's true that it's making, I think it's part of the company. I don't think it's like the whole company. Yeah. But I think part of what we did became obsolete that day. So let's get back to that idea of looking at what people need and delivering on that. Okay. My first move, I remember it, remember that at the company, we have over 200 people that are creatives, not engineers. Okay. Creative people that were very scared. So my first reaction, it was, instead of trying to move like the whole company to AI, it's like, let's try to move a tiny part of the company. Let's make it like a tiny team, a little bit in secrecy, to build the new AI in Freepik. And let's get that in motion and then expand that to the rest of the company. And we started with a private channel because people were so scared of this They didn't know if we were gonna fire them overnight, which didn't happen. But many people were really scared, and they still are. And I don't want to minimize that feeling. Okay, for many people, there is a skill that they train for years to gain that skill, and that became obsolete. So of course, you get that feeling of like, I know what. What am I gonna do now? There is probably still more than enough in you to be really valuable in the future. It's just that there is a part of what you used to do that is not needed anymore or can be greatly accelerated.
Yes.
And by the way, this is not only with artistic people, it also happens with engineers. It's the same thing. We are now we are AI whisperers. Like we talk to the machine in a way.
Yes.
And people that have an education in computer science, they usually know how to talk to the machine better than others. And they know what they have to ask for. They know how to double check the outcome. It's the same thing with artists. They know much better than people that are not trained in art. When an image looks good, what is the right composition? What do they have to ask for to get a great image? Again, that's still very valuable.
So here you are, you've been told by your board, so a close colleague, you've got to go all in. So, like you said, in the early days, the text to imagery, it was not good. It was not great. But you start building and you start innovating. As you said, I like your softlies, kind of like ninja team that you've got, secret team that you've got in order not to alarm the entire organization. But you do start building and you create this culture where this little team, this tight team that you've got, they need to feel okay, that it's okay to fail fast and learn quicker than your competitors. How did you create that culture?
First of all, let me clarify that not all board wanted to go all in. And then that was, I think, gets to the heart of how companies change direction. There is this sentiment in Europe that kind of the board sets the strategy, the direction, and then you have the management team that executes on that. Okay. And I don't think that's a right analogy. I think it comes actually from the company itself, from the people working in the company, and you kind of extract that direction that people want to go after. As a CEO, you push that to the board, and the board helps you shape the direction. But I think it comes back from the people working at the company, okay? So this particular board member, he was excited about that. Other board members were not that excited about that. There were like different opinions on what to do. Yeah. But so getting back to your question,
how do you balance? How do you manage that kind of dynamic then? Because some tension going on here.
Yes, but the way I did it, and I don't know if it's the right way or not, is I started small. If you start small, nobody's gonna complain. Okay, you are not like betting the house on that. Okay, so we started with a little team. And going all in, it was not necessarily that we'll pick all the money that we have and we will put it there, because then you will waste it. You will not know what to do.
Yeah.
Going all in, it was to put all our attention on AI. And it was when we had to take a decision to do it AI or not, we will favor AI. For example, I think we did too much AI. I think we made some mistakes. Okay. We allow AI-generated content in the library together with non-AI generated content. And we got this issue. I remember there was a user that downloaded an image for a poster that he wanted to print. And when he got to the printer, he realized that for some reason the chair had 6 legs. It's like, okay. And when you start using it, you realize AI works differently than traditional images. With traditional images, there is never a subtle mistake. If there is something that is subtle in the image, it's there on purpose. Somebody has put it in. Yeah. Okay. With AI-generated images, that it's the opposite. You get usually something that, from a high-level perspective, it works quite well. But if you dig into the details, they are usually, sometimes they're wrong. Okay, so you need to be really careful with what you do from AI. It's fast, but the double check process that you need to do is it's you need to be conscious that there can be issues with that image.
Yeah.
So by mixing those two kind of images together, people got a worse experience on Freepik. They were looking for images, and before AI, they were rock solid. After AI, it was a mixed bag. Okay, so I think we did too much, but that was part of the strategy. Is we can do too much AI, or we can do too little AI. We have those two options. We thought that if we did too little, we will be out of the market.
Yeah.
If we did too much, it's okay. We can correct that. Okay, so we, on purpose, we went on, okay, we are going to do too much. Every time there's a decision, even though the technology is not yet good enough, we are going to favor the technology to get there first and then iterate and hope that we will get better. And if we make a mistake and we don't get good enough, we will have, to take a step back or something. We'll apologize, whatever it takes. But we will favor errors going for too much AI.
And it's interesting to me because you mentioned there that you were learning from your users. Think about the people that you were serving. They could have been a small business, a social media manager, or a senior director in design. Is there something that they were doing in their behavior or their expectations that you thought, oh, that's interesting? And then that shaped the way in which you were building the business?
Honestly, step one, no, but then afterwards, yes. Step one, we just took whatever was available now, whatever was possible now, and we put it on the website. AI was such a disruptor that we knew it was going to solve many different use cases from people that until now, they will not even consider Freepik. Okay, so you need to make the distinction on when you can iterate and when you need to start again, from a different starting position. Okay, you can iterate when you have people that are 90% there and you want to help on the last 10%, and you keep hitting a higher mark every time. Okay, but if you want to do something that is completely different to what you did before, it's very difficult to iterate with your users because you actually want to go for new users, okay, that are not coming to your website before. For example, with AI, you can make bespoke images. You can take a photo of your family and you can turn it into an illustration. Okay, you can make a logo for your business. There are many new things that you can do that are unique, are going to be unique to you. Okay, we had the stock images. We didn't have anyone doing those use cases. Okay, there was nobody on Freepik trying to make a logo with Freepik images. There was nobody trying to turn their photos into illustrations. There was nobody trying to improve their photos. We didn't even have photographers using using Freepik. We had graphic designers.
Yes.
So it's not on the first version we could learn from them. We had to start from scratch. It was like a side project tied to Freepik. Okay, so initially we just launched AI on Freepik, and that's when we started learning from this new crowd of users. Okay, and what happened is that it was very quickly. We launched text-to-image generation, and we saw that it was very difficult to select a visual style. If you are an expert on art and you know plenty of authors and styles, you can prompt it saying, hey, I want a painting from some obscure painter that you know, and the AI kind of understands that, and it gives you a fantastic image. But for most people, they didn't know how to do that. They don't know what is a claroscuro, or they don't know what is, they don't know how to type that because they don't have that vocabulary. So that was difficult. How do I get a visual style? And I have a clear visual style that I want as a target. How do I get that without having to type it? So that's when we added okay, let's add visual styles to the website. And you can select an image and it's going to make something that looks with the same style as that image, but it's whatever you ask it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we just keep iterating. Like people were hitting, okay, now I want to make images with AI from myself. Okay, we need to allow you to upload a photo of yourself. It's not just text again. Okay, and we just keep iterating in the product. But it was after we launched the first version.
It must have got to a point then where there was a moment where you thought, the team's persistence is paying off.
Yes.
There was a glimmer of hope. It's like, this working.
Yeah.
What was that moment like? Describe that when things started to shift.
I think, to me, this happened when we launched our sketch-to-image generator.
Sketch-to-image.
Sketch-to-image, yes. Before then, we had text-to-image.
Yeah.
You describe what you want, you get the image. Sketch-to-image is you started drawing what you want. And in real time, you got an image that matched your sketch and your description. So I always use like the same example. I always put like a beautiful Chinese pot or some, and then I start just drawing it carelessly, and it just makes like a beautiful Chinese pot with the shape that I'm using. So this is one of those things. It's just an example, but this is one of those things where you can have a clear composition in your mind.
Yeah.
Okay, and especially if it's your work, like you are here to bring something to the table. Like you have an opinion on what you want. Yeah. So it may be like the composition of the image. It may be like something else, and the fact that the AI is just taking over for many people, rightfully, is like a bad idea. It's like no. I know what I want. And it's not that, And how do you describe with words a composition? It's very difficult. So the idea of just sketching what you want and getting the image in real time, it was phenomenal. Yeah. It caught on like fire. I remember, I remember like talking to that's like a funny, like the speech therapist of my daughter,
Yeah.
And I was showing to her, like, I mean, look at this. This is what we did. You type like a Chinese pot, and then you just start drawing, and you get it like in real time as you draw. She was looking at that. It's like, what is this? Very serious, very. Oh. I know it's like you draw. What is this?
Wow.
Like unbelievable.
So the reaction was like, wow.
Yeah.
And that is when you started to notice what more people were flocking to the site and.
That was like a first wave. There were many waves, okay? But this was like the first time people started talking about Freepik AI. Mm-hmm. Okay, they're doing something. Mm-hmm. We just did many more after that. Like we look at the intersection of what is possible now, and what do people want. What are the things that we can put on the website that just became possible? And that are going to be interesting to people. And we have been doing that constantly. People know that every time there is a new tech that is interesting, that comes out, you're going to probably have a product on Freepik that incorporates that technology often in hours. Sometimes it takes longer, but very often we do it in hours.
I have heard that you are fast. I have heard that you can have products done by the end of the day. I have heard this. So I think speed for you has been everything. And here you are, you're at this crossroads, right, of technology where you've got open source on one side and you've got your proprietary tech on the other. And I have this question. It's like, which open source technology do you actually select and bring in? And then, because things that's a bit of a gamble, I think. And then also, when you're producing and developing your own proprietary tech, that's kind of like the gold dust on top, right? And when you sprinkle that on top of the open source, what does that do? Does it just make it more, speedy? Does it make it more creative? So I guess the first is a two-part question. The first is, what open source technology did you pick and why? And then how did your magic on top help?
Okay, so we pick many open source technologies. Okay,
Yeah.
we also picked some proprietary technologies. Like sometimes we just close a deal with a company and we use their APIs externally. We did that, for example, with Topaz, which is a very well-known video upscaler.
Yeah.
So now you can make a video on Freepik or just upload your own video and you can upscale it on Freepik with your subscription. Okay, and behind the scenes, it's using the Topaz upscaler.
That's one of the top end
Yes.
technologies. Wow,
Yes,
great.
yes, a wonderful one. We recently integrated VO3 from Google, so that's another technology from a third party from Google that is closed source. And Nano Banana. I've been working on open source my whole life. Like I started as an engineer, I started working on open source when I was young, and I work on many different open source projects. Open source really shines as a technology that you can get and you can customize.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in general, it's a phenomenal way to get new ideas out of the door. Today, sometime, and that's also okay. Like some companies are using it as marketing. Okay, it's a way to get your new technology in the market. You make it open source, it gets, and usually if you get in the market, that's way more important than charging for the technology. Okay.
Yeah.
So to your question, we incorporate flags. We incorporate flags in multiple variants that it has. Before that we use Stable Diffusion. Okay. We use libraries from Hugging Face. We use models from Hugging Face.
Yeah.
For example, we pay for the GPUs that are needed to train a model that it's called BRefNet, which removes backgrounds for images. It detects what is the foreground and what is the background. This is made by a very talented engineer in China, and the model was relatively limited in terms of the images that it could handle. And so we supported him, giving him access to GPUs so that he can train better models. So we have done a little bit of open source, and we also did like some proprietary tech on top of open source projects.
Yeah.
Like for example, the first version of the sketch to image, the breakthrough, it came after a breakthrough in Hugging Face, where they integrated something that is called LCMs, latent consistent models, on top of the existing generators. And I'm sorry, it's getting a little bit technical, but it's like a way to speed up the generation.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
We went from 3-4 seconds to generate an image down to 100 milliseconds.
Wow.
So if you want to generate an image every time somebody makes a stroke, you better be very fast. And we have many other investments that are still in the works. Like some of them work, some they don't work. It's like an R&D.
So this is interesting to me. So here you are, and I have to quote. This is a lady called Amy Webb. She's a futurist, and her teachings are so smart. And she has said in her presentations, look, AI is moving fast, that there will be cutting edge technologies that will be obsolete tomorrow. So it becomes a bit of a gamble then, because if you choose these open source technologies, which you love, and I respect that, sometimes it's like, well, where do we put our money? Do we bet it all on our own proprietary tech? And if we did that, well, that's a gamble then, because Amy Webb is saying it could be obsolete tomorrow.
Yes.
And if we did that, then the competition is going to eat you alive. And then you've got these open source as well. So how do you balance? How do you think about that?
Okay, so that's a fantastic question. Like the way we think about that is we try to develop new technology that is going to stay relevant when models will get better. Okay, and that comes, there was in an interview, Sam Altman answered this question, and he said, you must be in a place where you are happy that GPT-5 comes out. There's going to be a model that is much better at general intelligence than the models that we have today. So if you're in a place where, imagine you are using GPT-3, for example, that is back in the past, okay? And you're building a company around that. If your model, your technology does something that helps GPT-3 understand better, I don't know, math, so that it can teach it to a kid, this is going to be a dangerous position, okay? Because in months, you are going to have GPT-4 that is going to be better at everything, including math for kids. Okay? So you're going to develop an edge into something that will be underwater very soon. Okay? Rather than doing that, it's much better to develop things that use the models and then become even more useful when the models become better.
Right.
At the point where we are, I think we need to start thinking about image creation and editing is a solved problem. You can very easily create any image that you have in your mind, and you can edit any image that you have to your liking, okay? However you want.
Yeah.
How do you add value on top of that? And that's what we are thinking of. Okay, you will probably need, we'll need to understand you.
Yes.
What is a good image for you? What are the images that you created in the past? How do you share those images with your colleagues? How do you get info into what next? What do you want to do next? How do you communicate? So there is going to be a lot of questions. What happens when creating and editing images is a solved problem? Let's say you don't need Photoshop anymore. You can do whatever you want just by, talking or just drawing a little bit. Maybe we'll be part of that solution. We'll be the ones that help you do that. Yeah. I think it's more interesting to ask the question, what is next? Yeah. What is going to be the next problem when this problem is solved? And start working towards that. Because then the thing that you're building upon is the belief that creating and editing images will be a solved problem. Okay. When you get the new generation of models that become better at that, your whole product will be much better. Mm-hmm. Today you can get on Freepik, and we see this playing out. Like 6 months ago, you could get on Freepik and you could generate a few clips. Now we are working to help you create the whole storyboard, to put like a film together. Okay?
Wow.
And the problem is that current video models, the models of a few months ago, they only get a good clip where people are with one single head, two arms, just one consistent clip. Every 15, 20, 30 tries. It is a painful process still. Yeah. But everything around is built as if this was working. Okay? And for some people, that already adds value. But what happens is that in a few months, and this is what happened, we got new video generators. They're much better than last generation. And now you get the right clip consistently. And now everything works beautifully, much better than before. Try to think about what is going to happen, which is the models will get better and better. What is the auxiliary value that you can provide to the user? What is the next thing that will become important?
Mm-hmm. I want to talk about that actually in quite some depth about the next thing and what the future will look like. Before I go there, I want to focus a little bit back on you. You're leading this company that is just scaling at a rate that's incredible. I think about your background, I think about your culture, Spanish, right? And I come from an Asian background. I think our cultures are kind of similar. We're in that men are just told to be men. All right, whatever that is, whatever that means, okay? But
whatever, yes.
Yeah, in our cultures, I don't think the young men are really taught to be vulnerable, to be open, talk about their feelings. And the statistics show that leaders that show vulnerability are 72% perceived as being more trustworthy and 50% being more inspiring just by showing vulnerability. So before we start talking about the future and how beautiful or not that might look, I think about you carrying this company into this future. And I want to find out, how comfortable are you with showing vulnerability? I mean, was there a time as you're growing Freepik that you felt like, damn, I'm out of my depth here? And did you share that kind of raw, unfiltered feelings with your team? And how did they react to that?
Listen, the answer is that yes. I didn't, but because I was really out of my depth. I really didn't know what to do. And I was very open about that. Like I was always saying, listen, I don't have any answers about what is going to happen. We are just going to try this. Okay, but there is a risk here, and there is something. But I can tell you that in general, it is very true that it's not encouraged. I find, at some point I got a person that that our company is invested by a private equity. So we got a person that was going to train me how to make a presentation to investors and things like
pitch.
that. Okay, exactly, how to pitch. And I mentioned when DALL-E 2 came out, I didn't know what to do. Like I was completely lost. I was for 1 week looking at the results. It's like, my gosh. And then he said, no, wait a second, you cannot say that. Why? And I remember he said, no, it's because you're an expert. So if you're an expert, by definition, you need to know what, you were expecting this, but it was not. I mean, it came out of the blue. It's not that I'm not an expert, whatever that means. I've been working at this for many years. I guess I'm as good as anyone, but this really came out of the blue. Yeah. And I remember I was surprised that this is not encouraged just to share when you don't know. We expect the CEO to have like all the answers. Yeah. At least in my case, it's not how it works. It's really like experimenting. And I'm famous for being the CEO that I don't like to make budgets, or I don't believe into the concept of one full year of budget where you make a prediction of what's going to happen. Right. I think it's too long. I think there are like too many unknowns. Yes. And that you will find out along the way many things, many important decisions. Okay, so
you're right. Yeah. It's not possible to even forecast beyond 2 years.
Yes.
And so it's interesting you said to me, no, even 12 months, Sandy. That's a long time. So what's your approach then? You're iterating very fast. I've heard this. Yes. What's your approach?
Well, my approach is that fortunately, I have the trust of the board, to try new things. I mean, why 1 year? Why we do budgets of 1 year? Yeah. Because that works for some traditional companies. Like if you are an utility, you know that you have summer, winter. You have this cycle where you can kind of predict what is going to be the usage, and you can get very close to what is going to be like your revenues, your margins, and so on. But in this business, whatever we are launching, yesterday, for example, we made a launch of a new technology that didn't exist until last Friday.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's going to be, how many people are going to sign up to use this technology? Yeah. We don't know yet. Is it going to make any of the other technologies that we have obsolete? We don't know. Are people going to love it or not? We got many launches that came like out of the blue. It just increased like a quantum leap, the number of subscribers.
Wow.
So it is very difficult to forecast what is going to happen. I think you need to accept that. Like you are not doing a forecast anymore. You are just extrapolating what you had in the past to give you an idea of, okay, if things stay the same, this is where we're going to be in 12 months' time. Right. Okay, but I think
But nothing stays the same.
No. It just gives you some idea, okay, do I need to correct the path? Because now, thanks to the numbers, I see something that was not obvious. Yeah. In that sense, it's useful, okay? But if you try to use it as this is the way that we have to go, I think it's damaging to the business. Yeah.
So interesting, because I have a background in HR recruiting, and it's usually you would have an annual review, right? Yeah. But then tech companies in particular were like, no, this is rubbish. We should be having monthly reviews or fortnightly reviews. Again, I'll go back to that question: is you built this culture now where fail fast, learn quicker. Yeah. But then it's interesting because you said to me, the majority of our people are not engineers. They're creatives. So how do you get your people to learn, to unlearn and relearn and learn how to learn? What's your
they secret? Have been phenomenal of this. To us, it's been like we expose like new tools to them, and we expose them at what could be done now. I remember like sitting with one of our employees, a photographer, and she became phenomenal making images with AI. And I asked, I mean, how do you do that? And she said, like, listen, I've been studying for so long at university how to do photography, but I could not put that knowledge to work because it was just too expensive.
Yes.
You know, I didn't have like the lights, the rigs, the cameras, everything to create those images. And now I can just take, you know, all the images that I had in my head and I can make them a reality with AI. And of course, like she knew what make a good image and what makes a not so good image. And she had like many different original ideas to put with image. They're phenomenal. They're pieces of art. And she's using it as a tool.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that naturally that came to everybody. Like all the artists, they had like this thing inside them. You know, they want to create. And once they start learning how to create, it became as if they had been using this forever. Like after a few weeks, you know, they became very good at this.
So it's very infectious and they took to it naturally.
Yeah.
You said that AI opens new doors, and that's kind of what you're describing to me with your people as well. They're seeing new opportunities, they're seeing new avenues. So imagine a marketeer, he types or she types cyberpunk cat in a neon city. Okay, and then Freepik comes in, and Freepik generates an AI image in seconds. Okay, but it doesn't stop there. So then there's this whole suite of possibilities. Describe some of those that then empower, like this illustrator that you just talked about, empowered her to create and do stuff that she's never been trained to do before. Mm-hmm. So describe to me what Freepik, how it can empower the creator.
Well, I like to use the term that it's a tool, like any other tool that a creator has, yes. Okay? And a tool always enlarges our capabilities, okay? So what you mentioned, it's exactly why you want a tool. Like you have never done a cyberpunk image of a cat, and you want to try different ideas quickly. This tool helps you do that, okay? So you are still the one that is using the tool. So Freepik, it helps you create those images. It helps you find inspiration because you can find other people that creating different images. You can find one style that really pleases you and use it. Freepik helps you turn this image into a clip. For example, that was very difficult to do before. Okay, think about it. Like, how many films did we make? I bet just too few. Like, how expensive is to make a film? It's horribly expensive.
Yeah. And how many are you making on the platform?
Yeah, we are generating now over 1 million per month.
Nice.
Getting close to 2 million videos now per month. You know, I had one of our creatives, he made a short film, which is, he loves like horror stories, and he made like a short clip about a horror thing that was like 2 minutes long. And I had like another creative that was looking at it and said, wow, that's pretty good. It's like, and he mentioned, okay, I made like an indie short film, was kind of like this. And it took him like a couple of months. Like you need to get like plenty of people in, makeup, everything, you know, it's like
full production.
Yeah. And it's like, this is like the cheapest that you can do it. It was all indie. We got the food free because somebody was paying. We got like the whole thing. He made it for 5,000 euros. Okay, which is very cheap for an indie short film.
Okay.
And the guy that made the film with AI said, I counted the number of credits, how much it cost to make everything, like the music, the clips, to put it together, including the errors and everything. And the cost was 15 euros.
No way.
Yeah. So when something becomes multiple orders of magnitude cheaper, the number of things that you can do really change. I think they change. It's not more films. We are going to see like a much bigger diversity of use cases that we still cannot think of.
Yeah. And I want to go there, actually. I'm so glad this actually segues quite nicely into my next question. I want us to look at the future and think big and think out of the box. So I wrote a little story here for you. Picture this, okay? It's a 12-year-old, someone just a year older than your eldest child,
Yes.
okay? And they're sitting in their bedroom. So you can relate to this because just imagine your daughter sitting in her bedroom and she creates a global ad campaign, and it's for a pet, and it's very edgy, it's very nostalgic, it's very viral. And then think of this, instantly AI generates 100 unique concepts, each with its own logo, each with its own tagline, each with its own branding. And then on top of that, there's this storyboard, 10 TV adverts that it can complete with celebrity deepfakes as well, and original soundtracks. It gets quite crazy because with AR, now you've got filters for social media, you've got scripts for TikTok challenges, you've got memes that can be predicted for the next 6 months. I'm just giving our audience just a sense of what could be coming, right? And then this child is able to test the campaign in a simulated market. The AI is able to tweak it. It's able to launch it globally, this ad campaign, just in a matter of an hour. That means no designer, no marketer, no Freepik.
Mm-hmm.
It's a child in their bedroom with their AI.
Well, I hope we don't get kids doing work anytime soon. So let's change that by a young professional.
A young
something
professional,
because,
okay. Not child labor.
But yes, I mean, more and more of what we do will become automated. And I think we need to come to terms with that, okay? You mentioned before, now I can make a campaign. Very soon it can be the AI suggesting what is going to be the right campaign. It can be, hey, Sandy, by the way, Mother's Day is coming. Have you thought of something? Here you have a few ideas. Like, instead of coming from you, it can take the initiative into what is the next thing. So there are many things. I mean, you mentioned no Freepik, maybe, but at some point it's talking to some AI, okay? And it's working with some AI. We hope to be part of that future in some. We hope that we will be able to understand what that person wants to do better than others because we have more context. In general, I think we are playing the role here of, if AI becomes phenomenal at all things digital, okay, you still need something that pushes what is in the reality into the digital realm, kind of. Okay, I mean, you need to cross that chasm. You have people that will have some ideas into what they want to do. So it's good if you've seen their past work.
Yeah.
You have people that had a certain business. So it's good if you see the previous marketing campaigns, so you can get a sense of the tone, what is appropriate to say and what is not. Okay, some people may be very serious about their brand. Some people want to be more, more playful. Some people want to be a little bit more cheeky. I don't know. There's gonna be different styles.
Yeah,
okay,
definitely.
So I think the tools that will remain with us are the tools that help us cross that chasm, that help us add more context, so that the AI understand really what we want easily. Mm-hmm. Okay? And we will hopefully be part of that future. Okay, but in general, I think it's the good intuition to think that AI will become better at doing any transformation of bits that needs to be done. It goes from voice to making the campaigns, launching the campaigns, gathering data, gathering intel, iterating on the campaign. There's going to be more and more what we call work today that is going to be automated by AI. And I hope that we will work more on the real world as a result.
Real world.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get a little bit more granular for the audience. AI generated visuals are everywhere. and you cannot tell the difference. And this is DALL-E, this is Midjourney, this is Freepik, Flux. Okay, it's all in there, and these visuals are everywhere. And then we're using AI to also edit films as well. We've got taglines, we've got hashtags going on. How is Freepik helping to lead the way in this world?
Okay, so I don't know how Freepik will lead the way in this world. Okay, let me take it. The important thing here is not Freepik or Midjourney or Adobe. There will be some tool, and I hope it will be Freepik, that help people create what they want. Yeah. Okay. But I think on this world, like when you have something that becomes abundant, people still look for what becomes now more unique. Okay, it happened before when it became easy to make a photo, people stopped looking at regular photos. They just went for something that was more original. You know, it's like it always happens when something it happens everywhere. It stops being a novelty. It stops being interesting. Yeah, and we are hooked into looking for things that are interesting. Okay. So if the thing that is interesting is not interesting because of the technical difficulty to make it, because that becomes trivial, then it has to be interesting because the person that makes it sends a message that really resonates with people. So okay, it can be somebody that has something to say. And I think that comes from us as humans, but having a history, having our living experiences, and bringing that to the table and saying something that is useful. Okay, so if you think in a world where the technical expertise to do something becomes trivial, it's very easy to do it. Okay, and again, I think there will be. I think Freepik will be part of that future in the sense that we will be part of the companies that help you express whatever you want to say easily. Yes. Okay, but there will be tools that help you say whatever you have to say easily. Yeah. In that world, we are going to be bottlenecked by how much we can push to people. You know, a day has 24 hours. There's that many people in the planet. Yeah. We cannot just take 2 orders of magnitude more ads on us. Yes. You need to be inspired by something. Okay. I think in that future, what becomes really important is what is your message? What do you want to say? How does your product help people? It becomes way more about the core rather than the superficiality of the quality of the image.
So you said we already live in an attention economy. Yeah. And therefore, to grab attention, we need to stand out. And to stand out, we need to be more unique. We need to be doing something very, very differently. Mm-hmm. So you think that the platform would just help humans, augment humans to differentiate as well?
That's a good way to put it. I really think that the number one mission here is to remove the friction. So I think that people have interesting things to do. Some of them do. Yeah. And we want to help those people get their message out. Help them express the power of their ideas.
Okay, because we could be in about 4 or 5 years away, it could be very, very hyper-personalized as well, all right? And so now you've got AI that's creating very unique and differentiated content because it really resonates with the individual. It's so hyper-personalized. And then, of course, you've got AR and VR that's creating highly immersive experiences as well. And these can be in very simulated markets. So it's very infectious. And, I feel for your children because this world is coming, right? So if this is a world that you're also going to be betting on as well, do you see Freepik being able to provide real-time, hyper-personalized content?
No. And I don't buy this is going to happen. No. Listen, we got the same narrative when we started getting computers and when we started and we thought films are going to be hyper bespoke to the viewer, or the viewer will be able to control the narrative or something, okay? But this is like going to a restaurant and it's like, no, you have the ingredients, you can do any dish that you want. I don't want to make any dish. I want you to give me your dish. I want you to have an opinion, put it in front of me, and I will judge it. And I like it or not. Yes. Again, if I like it, I keep it, and I keep going. If I don't like it, I go somewhere else. But show me your opinion. So I don't buy this thing where we just, all of us, get something that targets us, an individual, because it also prevents something that is really important today, which is socializing the message. When you get an ad that really resonates with plenty of people, we talk about it.
Yes.
It's like, did you saw that ad from Nike or from whoever?
Right.
And it's like, yeah, it was amazing. Like, it really resonated with me because it talked about A, B, C, whatever. Okay? Right. You cannot do that if you have your own ad. Like, you are the only one, the only receptor of that. Maybe it's amazing and you can tell no one. Yes. It's like, what's the point of that? Yeah. We are social beasts. We like to talk with each other. What's the point of getting something just for me that I cannot even, share with my wife, with my kids? I don't know. I don't buy necessarily that just because we can, that we are gonna go in that direction.
That's interesting.
And AR, virtual reality, I don't buy it too. Neither. I don't buy it neither.
Do you think there could almost be an anti-movement? Like, especially with our generation, like there's too much and they go the other way.
There may be a movement like that. I'm not part of that movement. I'm very much, I love technology. I think we should accelerate. I think that we have solved many of humanity's problems thanks to technology. Okay? I think that the development is good. I just think that the future is not always like we think. Okay? And I think there's going to be some dangers ahead of us. I also think they're going to be different to what we think today. It's like, think about the AI like fire. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. It's like something powerful, something very useful, dangerous. A little bit. Okay? Yes. And imagine that before you play with fire, so that before you understand fire really well, you start thinking about the dangers. Like, I see it. Like, the little kids here, they can jump into the fire, get burned, and this is going to be very risky. So we need to make it so that kids cannot get to the fire. Right. While the real danger is that your house can burn out. It's not the kids that jump into the fire. It's like the whole house. Dangers are always different than our first intuition. So I think there are going to be some dangers with AI. Mm-hmm. I don't buy a dystopian future where we get all hyper-targeted with ads. I don't know. Maybe there will be some of that. I don't buy it. And virtual reality, augmented reality, to me, all the technology that we put on people comes with a trade-off. Yeah. And virtual reality is the ultimate trade-off. Is you get to live a different reality by switching off of your existing reality. Yes. And to me, I guess that for most people, yes, they will not be okay with that trade-off. And you see it already, right? When you put the goggles, you look like an idiot. Well, right? It's like you are, but you are not. Come on. Yeah. And you know it. Like, maybe you're playing a video game and it's okay, but the social impact of doing that, it's very strong. And I think that's a big part of the reason why it didn't catch up. You don't see people on the street with goggles.
Not yet.
Come on. Like, you look ridiculous. Yeah. And you know it. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
I don't think we are going to just switch off of the existing reality. I don't buy that future.
Fast forwarding to 2030, who knows what the world will look like? Yeah. Now we are maybe going to get, like I said, entire campaigns with deepfake celebrities, and we've got unique music as well out there being published on multiple platforms. Mm-hmm. And we've got 12-year-old children who are able to launch global campaigns. Now, is this something that is a nightmare for you, or is it somewhere, again, I do hear what you're saying, who knows what the world will be like, but is this a world where you think Freepik will just survive or thrive? Because at the moment, you're managing to thrive. So I just see you as a man who's level-headed, is made some very good predictions so far. So I'm interested to hear what you think.
Well, I think the future of Freepik or any other company is going to depend on how well it adapts to the new reality.
Yes.
Okay, every time.
Yes.
And reality is changing very quickly. So now you really need to adapt. So back in the days, you could stay, like, I think very often of Kodak. That's a very common example, okay?
Yeah.
Kodak was this humongous, gigantic company that employed like over 100,000 in one factory. It was insane. Like many people. It was over 100,000 chemistries.
Yes.
And then digital photography came.
Yes.
Okay, and they actually invented it, but they put it on a shelf because that completely destroyed their whole business.
Yes.
It's like you really need to understand what is possible now that was not possible before, and what is my new role to play in this new world.
Yeah.
And I don't buy that it's all going to be dystopian. Like you could have played the same narrative with the internet or before that, with the printing machine. Okay, it's like everybody's going to be able to write a book. Okay, like, are they going to be writing books, and are we going to have like, but yes, more people will write books. You will get more different point of views than before. It's not just the Bible and, the standard narratives. And that diversity, and some people will write something that you will strongly disagree with, and you will find of poor taste, and you need to deal with that, okay? And you need to accept that. So yes, there is going to be like a few things that from today's standpoint are going to look ugly or are going to look like, a bit dystopian, a bit off. And I think we're just going to have to accept that, okay? It's part of the future.
So far I've been talking a lot about the human in the loop. But then you hear Sam Altman talk about the year of the agent. Agents will go to work. And then there is Amy Webb, who also says that by 2030, we're looking at autonomous AI marketeers. And now you've got AI that's not just producing the visuals, the images, but it's doing the strategy, and it's doing the execution, and it's doing the optimization as well. So what does this do to your user base? The designers and the marketeers, they are now, not even human?
Well, to me, the AI agents, it's like a sophisticated tool again.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree that to some extent, all of the digital work that we did today, at some point it will become trivial or even disappear. And we need to prepare for that. Okay. Maybe that give us more time to spend between humans, which is where the AI is not. Yeah. Okay. But there's going to be like a array of professions that will find themselves with plenty of time in their hands. Okay, because what they used to do now becomes automatic, becomes very fast. My guess is that they will find something to do with that time. Okay, it happened before. Like before, accountants, before computers came in, they used to do calculations.
Yeah.
That was like the day, and double check the additions, and so that everything was working okay. And then spreadsheets came in, and that part of the job completely disappeared. So what about the accountants? Did they disappear? No, they didn't. Okay, they took what they knew. 90% of their work just disappeared. And then the 10% that was left is like, okay, if those are the numbers, what can we do to improve the business? Right. What are the things that are hard in the business? So they started to think more about that.
Yes.
They took like a higher level position. Okay. And that's what happened in the past. Maybe this time is different and it's more profound. We don't know yet. Maybe we'll get to companies that are like a single person, and we'll get like many more companies than before, because you only need one person and everything is automated. Like you get the whole stack. Okay, you get the marketing department, the financial department, all the departments are working for you, and you just need to identify a need in the market, so to say, a need by other people to build something that people want, okay, which is what it's.
This
This
is
is about.
interesting though, because you just said to me, you build, and you said this a couple of times, we will listen to what people want.
Yeah.
But now we're looking at an economy potentially that is AI driven. It's an AI driven economy. It's almost like who's serving who? You know, we're going to be buying from them. So your company, and all companies, will have to now market to a machine.
Yeah.
And that machine doesn't have like the fears or the desires of a human being. So that intrigues me. Like, what will that do to your marketing? I don't know. Do you have thoughts about that?
Not many. No, and it's not because, and I should probably it's a fabulous question.
It'll turn everything upside down.
Yes, I didn't thought until now about selling to other machines, but actually, even before AI, we used to do that a little bit. Like if you think about SEO, like SEO optimization, is how do we make the website easy to read to another computer that is trying to index for the internet, and that became an art in itself.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we are going to do the same for AI. Like, how do we make our goods so they are attractive to an AI that is taking the decision to purchase? We are not yet there. Agents today, they are built in a way where they take very few decisions on purpose, not because they cannot, because we are still not feeling safe about them.
Yes.
So you only let them take very trivial decisions. But I think you are right. I think we will reach a threshold. We will become more and more used to them taking more risky decisions. Okay, now you can do my groceries. Okay, now I trust you to expand up to that much. And we will get companies that are selling to them and making something that is attractive to them. That I hope it will be well aligned with being attractive to the end user that is at the end of the loop.
You remember the day where we could watch a video, watch a film and think, yeah, that's real. But the default today is to say, no, it's not real. And that's kind of scary, where you could look at an image and doubt that whether it's authentic. So I have to now really think about Freepik and think, well, how will you maintain the authenticity of your assets on the platform?
Well, I think the answer to that question is that you cannot. And that's a new reality. Okay, there was a period of time where you could be relatively sure that a photo was depicting something that happened in the real world. But I will say that even that, it was not good enough for people. Like, there are still people that doubt, that don't believe that we went to the moon.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So, doesn't matter. Even if you have a traditional camera, you can still set up, a scene to make it look like something that is not. Yeah. You can, even if you have a photo of some very popular politician doing something horrible, like people that follow the politician will say that this is set up, that this is not a real photo, that, you cannot be really certain of the reality just by looking at an image. It was not the case before. It's certainly not the case now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened is that AI lowered the barrier to make those changes.
Yeah.
Like, it made it very easy to make up anything. But maybe that's good. Maybe that makes people trust less of what they see online and be a little bit more reluctant and, and kind of more critic of what they say. I think that's healthy. Like, people need to double check things.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I don't think it's anything new. You could not trust before something important already. Like, there was already like this sense of mistrust because everything can be set up to some extent, and that's actually what happened with fake news. You look something that looks like a real news.
Yeah.
Is it real? You can distort the words. You can, and it is not that complicated to distort the images either.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think this is going to be one of the most important dangers of AI.
If the new default is to not trust, then I will, as a consumer, I will be asking, where's it from? Where's it coming from? Where was it born? Where was its roots? You know, if it's coming from Freepik, maybe I will believe in its authenticity. Maybe I would believe in its authenticity if it is supported by the blockchain.
I don't think there is any technical way to fix it. Like, I think it's at its root, you can make an image look like anything. And the only way to give it some trust is through a social construct. Is if you trust the person or the entity that created or that shared that image, and you trust them because you trust them to do a good job double-checking the source, double-checking the legitimacy of the source. Yes. Maybe there are some newspapers that you trust, or maybe you don't trust any newspaper, but you trust a certain individuals. And I think it's always been like this with us. There's going to be some people that you delegate the task of double-checking if something is right or not. And of course, different people trust different people. Okay, some people are gonna trust the New York Times, some people will trust the Guardian, some people will trust different newspapers. Some people will not trust any of them and will trust like crazy conspiracy. Crack. I don't think that changed that. It's just human nature that you're gonna trust whoever you think is trustworthy.
Right.
And this is gonna be shaped by your past. This is gonna be shaped by. There is, all of us, we have like a long story behind us. And that shapes you in a way. Again, that shapes what do you believe in, who do you trust, the reasons. And sometimes you see when this trust was misplaced. You see, okay, really trusted like this newspaper. They put forward this news and you double check afterwards and this was fake. It was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. So if the newspaper starts losing the trust of their readers, they lose everything. That's their main asset.
Yeah. So then this opens up another question about the power of the personal brand. Because people are less likely to trust institutions and governments and way more likely to trust in a man or a woman, a personality. Do you have a thought on that and the power of personal brand today?
I think our institutions, they look a bit outdated, but I think they did historically a good job, a decent job at least, checking out the origin of the stories and making sure that things, when we had like very few voices that spoke, usually the quality was pretty high.
No.
Okay, you didn't got like some crazy stuff out of there. Now it has become distributed.
Yes.
And the problem is that we gravitate towards people that have strong personality rather than being trustworthy. Okay, and I think that is leading to the rise of very eclectic personalities that attract many, many followers.
Yes.
Okay, so you mentioned like personal brand. Yeah, it is becoming very, very important.
Yeah.
I kind of prefer like the old days in that respect. Yeah.
You're more traditional, right?
Yeah, I'm more traditional.
What do you mean by the old days? Because how's it going to be different today with the personal brand? Do you think that...
What is the reward for being really conscious, checking the trustworthy, checking that something is right?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't gain much. You start gaining at the game when you are very, very fast. And actually, you gain more if you are on an extreme. If you have like a very strong polarized opinion, and you are fast expressing that opinion, that gains you followers. Yeah, and think about Freepik. Like one of our games is we are very fast. Sometimes we sacrifice having a user interface that is more cohesive, more consistent, because we want to be the first to market. Okay, this is a corporate strategy that we use also as some form of marketing. So you know that best in class, the last new thing is available on Freepik. To some extent, you have the same thing with personal brands. People want to be the first one to comment. That gives you very little time to check. Okay, and people want to have extreme opinion. That is leading to many people. I think this is rising, like, extreme opinions. It's like even in the political spectrum, it will be the traditional extreme right, extreme left, now extreme liberals, extreme anything. We are going to extreme whatever. And I don't think people are looking to have softer opinions like we had in the past. I think now when you were on TV or something like that, you had more time to understand if something was right or wrong. Okay, and I think that went through the window. Now we need to go very, very fast to catch the attention of people.
It's the attention economy.
It's
so we
attention
need to be
economy.
more extreme to get that attention.
I think that's the reward. You get rewarded by being extreme. You get rewarded by being very fast.
The education system.
Yes.
I want to move there. Because you're a father. You have 2 daughters and a son. And so I know this topic will be important to you. I have said this before to you, and I think the education system is failing our children. I think that children are being pushed towards one career path, and we all know that, I think you'll agree that actually that's a nonsense now. Things are moving so fast. Skills are expiring in 2.5 years. Probably in just months going forward. It's getting faster and faster and faster. So then I have to ask the question, what do you think will be the skills of the future where Freepik could help people learn those skills?
I think, and I mentioned this multiple times, I think it's all going to be about human relations.
Yes.
And that's a bit painful to me because I come from a scientific background, so very much like loving math, physics, or it's not very social. It may be the case, this is a problem with forecasting the future, okay? We may be miles off.
I know.
It can be the case that being smart in the future, it's as useful as today is being strong. Okay, so being strong, it's useful, it's okay, it's good for you. It's like, yeah, well done. It's like, you can raise weights, but it's not actually career defining, okay? It's not like being stronger will not get you like a better job, a better future or anything, okay? It's you do it for you, and it can be marginally useful in some situations. This is it. Maybe being smart will be in that same bucket in the future. Maybe, so you can do math in your head quickly. Good for you. No, it's good. Yeah, well done. Maybe it's not that useful in the future. Okay? Maybe we will, we will rely more and more on machines to do our thinking. And usually when you rely on something, it's like if you start working with a cane, eventually you're going to need that cane.
Yeah.
You will not be able to walk again without that cane. And I think to some extent we're going in that direction.
Really interesting what you've just said, because it's that a bit like saying that the Industrial Revolution took away the muscle economy, right?
Yeah.
And that the AI will maybe take away the intelligence economy.
Yeah, at least I'm convinced that this is going to hit, the AI revolution is going to hit white-collar jobs.
Yes.
Way more than blue-collar jobs.
Okay.
Which is not what we thought at the beginning. Okay, at the beginning, we thought that high-level creativity jobs were safe, but this is not what is happening. It's taking out everything that starts and ends with a computer.
Yeah.
So everything that is in the middle it's being done by AI now. So for the kids, I think we need people that understand other people, that understand where there are like opportunities to do something better for others. I think you still need to be creative and think a little bit out of the box. I always, when people ask me, like, how do you become an entrepreneur? Or what do you do? I always give the same answer. It's like, it's not about studying economics. I never did that. It's not about, I think it's about being more interesting. You really have to, you need your eyes open to understand problems that are on the table, that too many people are invisible, and you detect, this is a pain, this is something that is, why does it have to be this way? Yeah, and you have to question things. So I always say, like, if you don't know what to do, travel a little bit, like go abroad, learn new things, become more interesting as a person. And that will give you a better business when you decide to do something with businesses. So I think it's going to be a little bit about that. Like, people need to know the world. People need to talk to each other. People need to be, I think it's very important to be able to express yourself, to present an idea, to talk in public and in private. And maybe, again, that's painful to me. But maybe math will be less important. How good you are at math? I don't know.
I think that's fascinating. Do you potentially see Freepik as the interface where people come to learn to be creative, learn to create?
When you create, there are always two outcomes. One outcome is the creation itself, and the second outcome is the mark that it leaves on you. Just by creating something, you learn something.
Yeah.
Okay, and actually at school we always disregard like the outcome, and we play for the mark that it leaves on the person. Okay, it's always like this. It's like in sports. Okay, the goal, nobody cares about getting a ball in a basket. The goal is for you to manage to get the ball in the basket. Okay, is the path to get it there. It's not so much the outcome. And at the school is the same. Is like disregard the output, but is how it builds you as a person to start getting these outcomes. So on Freepik, by helping people create, I think we are also helping them grow.
But I think about like a Khan Academy.
Yes.
And it's not, I wonder if Freepik could not just be the tool, but could be a movement, and where it could be empowering people, where you're working with education, because as we all know, they're struggling to keep up. And so if you are working with your user base, industry, and you're bridging the gap between industry and education through your movement, through your platform, is that something that you think, oh, no, that's not the space that we want to go in, Sandy? Or is that a possibility? You're a father. So I just think the Khan Academy would be the Freepik Academy version of that. So.
Yes, it can be. I don't know if it will be, because the trivial way to do that, it will be to just give like free access to the platform to people working in academia. That's fine. That's actually usually done with the hope that you will trap those future users. Okay. And I don't like that kind of trap, so to say. It's like, okay, you start using the software for free, and then when you get a job, obviously you will still use the software. I don't know, if we do something on academia, I hope it will be a little bit deeper than that. Okay, that will help people, even if it's not fully aligned with getting more customers to the platform. I will like to dissociate those two. Okay, so I still don't know what kind of shape can we take with students and with academia. I had the feeling like you that there is something that we can do there.
Yeah, this is interesting space, because it would definitely have to be lifelong. They would have to want to turn to Freepik for lifelong learning. It can't be anything not lifelong, because things are changing all the time. I think, would you say that everything would have to be free in the end? I don't know.
Well, in our case, it's not the case. I mean, we started Freepik because we wanted to help people to find free images. But of course, we are a business, so we started charging for things. Now, AI has a very solid cost at the end. Today is significant. And we charge people to pay for that cost and make and have a margin and make a living as a company. So everything is not free, but progress is making things much cheaper than they used to be.
Yes.
Again.
Yes. So then this leads to, I'll bring this home with this question. You have Amy Webb, I keep referencing her a lot. She says that the future could be where you've got creative tools that are so decentralized that anybody, and cheap as well, like you said, anybody, anywhere can build a Freepik, probably in their bedroom.
Yes. Yes. Listen, I think this will happen. I don't think that the Freepik of today will stay the same in 50 years. Okay, I don't think this is going to be. So, as I mentioned before, we are playing right now under the hypothesis that creating and editing images will be trivial. That's not the case today. And today, part of our added value is to help you do that.
Yeah.
But I assume that this will become trivial in the future.
Yeah.
And the Freepik of the future is, how do we help you, even though creating and editing images is absolutely trivial?
Yeah.
How can we just help you do more or do it better or whatever? I still don't know what shape it will take. So I don't buy that the Freepik of today, you just leave it alone and will just stay as it is forever. And that's not what I see in the future.
So this is interesting. So now you're saying that the future isn't so much about having the best technology, the proprietary technology.
Yeah.
It's about the value. Who can offer the best value?
Yes, and there will be like, why will one person go to one platform versus others? We still don't know what will be like the main reason. Maybe it's branding, is whatever platform they are used to. And if you want to be the platform that people know and are used to use, then today you need to do a very good job. And today you need distinctive technology, even though in 3 years' time it will become irrelevant. Okay, but there are some things that you do for the Freepik of today and some things that you do for the Freepik of the future. They're not the same. And you need to play this game like all the time. Okay, we're doing something that we think is going to be pretty cool for a couple of years or 1 year. Okay, and it's important that we do it. And it's important that we get people to Freepik, to get people to create things on Freepik so they get this experience. It's useful today. We know it will not be the path of the future.
What is one thing that you need to do at Freepik to future-proof it for AI?
Well, not only AI, like technological progress.
Yes.
In a way. Probably one, okay, I think that you can latch on human behavior. This is the thing that takes the longer to change. Okay, even if there's a new technology, people still get used to their own ways of working. Okay, if you can get multiple people working together on Freepik, getting value. Okay, it's not because we stick to an obsolete workflow, but if you can integrate with people's workflows, I think you will be there for a very long time. Like forever, it's a very long time. Okay, but if people get used to do it your way, because it's significantly better, and you get like multiple people engaged and collaborating in your platform, I think that's very difficult to dislodge. It's very difficult to break.
Seamless use.
Yeah, collaboration, having teams, having multiple people collaborating.
Community.
Yeah.
Do you think that you'll have, my final question, do you think that your great grandchildren will be enjoying Freepik? Will you live to see them enjoying Freepik?
I hope so, but I think it will not be the Freepik of today. Just like, you think about it, just like Kodak could still be a fabulous company today if they had adapted. And people will still be joining Kodak today. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Think about Google, Apple. What is the business that will stay unchanged in 100 years? I don't think it exists.
Yes.
I don't think that all of them need to adapt to what is the new thing that can be done now, that people want to do now. And I don't think that is eternal. I don't think that Google will be in 100 years with us if they don't fundamentally change what they are doing. And I think at some point, companies will reach a point where the industry will change because a new technology will go up. And now Apple cannot make iPhones as they used to be because there will be like some fundamental change that make them irrelevant. Just like we see it now with Google. Okay, like now you see how archaic it is to search on the internet for information, and OpenAI just make it so much easier to go one step above. It's like, just give me the answer. Okay. I think this happens eventually to every company. It's not only Freepik. It's like any company at some point needs to rethink what they do and need to take the leap and change it.
And do you think you'll be alive to watch your great-great-grandchildren? Because
listen, I hope I will last as much as I reasonably can while I'm still, when I'm still active. And I don't know, but at some point, I guess I will die, like everybody, of course. I don't,
the idea of living into your hundreds, over 100
oh
years
no,
old.
it's maybe I'm just too traditional, and I'm not yet seeing it. My guess is at some point, I see people getting old, and sometimes it's like, yeah, it's my time. Oh no, I just feel that if I manage to live, to me, it's more than living forever. It's important. I will try to live in good shape up until the end. That will be my goal. Not to have like an end in 2,000 years. It's like, if it's something like 90, that's good enough, or 100, that will be lovely. But if I manage to be, well-performing, like with mental clarity and in good physical shape up until the end, and then die.
I like. So you want a health span, not a lifespan.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, Joaquin, it has been incredible. And what I've learned about you is that you are a modern AI man with a very traditional heart. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Best marketers in the world all have that ability to tell a story and to take an audience on a journey, whether it's through a static image or a video. That's the one thing they never compromise on, and that's the thing that they do so well. Mix that in with some basic understandings of the human psychology and what draws us to things and what keeps us there and what people want. Combine them two together, you've got yourself gold.